Hello, original soul. Welcome in, welcome back. I appreciate you being here and bringing your energy. All right, let's jump into the cards, shall we? See what we've got. Okay, so 3 wanted to pop out of the dream deck coming into this reading. So we've got this being chased card, and then also technology and accidents. Hold this the right way. Being chased is a top 10 dream, so I don't know if you've had any dreams recently about any of these 3 things, but you know, this does give sort of the vibe or the impression that something is maybe you're running from something, or you feel like something is following you or chasing you. Something from the past perhaps, or maybe this is a behavior, or again, this is something you might be avoiding. Notice also too, kind of with that, or with rushing, you know, maybe there have been some mishaps with technology or potentially actual accidents. So I don't know if this has been going on for anybody. But yeah, just being a little bit more careful, maybe taking a break, stop, breathe, stabilize. All right, so a couple different themes popping up, just coming into the reading. So we'll see how the rest of this shakes out. So on your mind, messages. 3rd house. Now when I sat down to do this reading, for some reason I started getting really agitated, and just a couple kind of thoughts or memories of things that are frustrating to me started popping up. You know, something with a family member, something with a friend. And so I just had to kind of put a stop to that for a minute. It's like, so I don't know if anyone is having issues with any siblings or parents or just anyone in their sort of immediate family. Or maybe something going on in your neighborhood, or you know, friends or childhood friends, something like that. But with messages, communication energy also coming out pretty strong in this reading, especially with technology. And a lot of these dream cards did talk about, you know, it could be avoiding feelings, or avoiding communicating something, or avoiding sharing. So that is coming through with the cards today. So is there something you need to communicate, or maybe you are waiting to get a message? And then with this technology and accidents too, this card is related to Mercury, which is all about communication and technology as well. So, you know, maybe there's a message that you sent that you thought somebody got and they didn't, or, you know, you accidentally sent something that you didn't mean to, or to the wrong person, or something like that coming through with messages. So, like I said, if you're getting mad at somebody because they haven't gotten back to you, or you're worried about something in that way, maybe check those messages, or just check on that. Maybe something, you know, something kind of got in the way. But okay, so at the center of the reading, I really like this energy, rewild plantain. I like that sort of treasure map looking scroll. There's a hot air balloon on this card. Both Gemini and Sagittarius energy are showing up here today, if those are applicable at all. Maybe you have some prominent placements of those, because both 3rd house can be about kind of short trips, short travel. It could be maybe a short plane ride, or just, you know, if you live like in the States, somewhere in the States or something like that. Maybe you're taking a drive to the country. But the Rewild card, this is about kind of getting out of not just civilization, but sort of that being civilized. So getting into more of your authenticity, that is what's coming through to me. again, with this communication, and then the rewilding. So taking out those maybe fears or concerns that have possibly stopped you a little bit, and really moving towards things that excite you. So this could be getting out of your comfort zone, planning a trip, and again, with kind of getting out of that civilized nature. What did it say about plantain in the book? Like you could chew it up, spit it out, you know, if you had like poison ivy itch or some sort of wound. I'd have to do a little more research, so don't totally quote me on what it's used for, but just sort of that act, you know, that like chewing and spitting it, but it's still healing, and it's still doing its job, and that's kind of getting out of that prim and proper attitude and just getting a little more kind of grounded, down to earth, and kind of into that child self. Did you like to explore? Did you have any big plans or places that you wanted to see? I would totally go on some kind of trip with a cool ass treasure map. I think that sounds fun and exciting. All right, so that's some good energy here at the heart. So if you're not already feeling a little more explorative or curious, you might need to get away. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you need to just get out of town for a little bit. I've been mentioning going camping, which I want to do ASAP here. All right. And then future energy, number 13 out of the Egyptian deck, restraint or the end of conflict. All right. So those sort of sound like two different things, but this book had some interesting things to say. And thinking of restraint, again, with some of these cards, it does feel right, like something might actually be keeping you down or holding you back. The third house card, which has the Eye of Horus at the top, has some Egyptian themes in it. What was I going to mention with that? Thought just left my brain. Oh yeah, important legal documents. So maybe you have been stuck in some sort of contractual situation. That could be a marriage, some certain sort of job or company or corporation. Maybe you're in an apartment or a lease or something that you can't wait to get out of. So this could be feeling restrained in that sort of way, but there is an end to that conflict coming up. Also think about self-restraint and what might hold you back, or even purposely restraining yourself is coming to mind as well. Maybe for a goal, or even to maybe end some sort of conflict. Right? If you tend to maybe fight with somebody, bicker, scream, you know, whatever fighting looks like in your situation, you know, maybe you decide to not. Maybe you restrain yourself and don't. But I did want to read just a little quote. I won't read the whole thing here, out of this card, and let me just see if I can find it here. Here we go. This is just something Napoleon said. So Napoleon once said, "The reason people fail instead of succeed is because they sacrifice what they want the most for what they want in the moment." So that kind of correlating to maybe restraining yourself for a goal, doing that on purpose, holding yourself back. You know, to add to what Napoleon said, sometimes we do kind of have that fleeting choice in the moment where, you know, it could be something impulsive and it really does take you away from your greater goal or what you were working towards or hoping for. But a lot of times it also can be fear. Fear holds most of us back from lots of things. And so pushing past that and getting out of your comfort zone with this rewild card, you know, moving beyond what might be self-imposed restraint. So maybe you take action in a way that you've been afraid of, whether you're afraid of rejection or embarrassment, maybe people not understanding you. Yeah, so just maybe taking a step out of that comfort zone, and maybe that is sending a message or sharing a feeling or applying for a role or a job, whatever this might be for you. All right, let's see what Archangel Michael is bringing in here to the situation. Romance angels are helping you. I think we got this card a couple weeks ago as well. So for some people, this could be maybe getting out of your comfort zone and exploring a new relationship, a new partnership. You know, you could have been kind of bound or restrained or felt stuck in relationships in the past, and maybe there's some fear of that happening again. So you've been kind of holding yourself back, avoiding certain situations. All right, let's see though, what is on this card? My prayer, dear guardian angels of my soulmate, thank you for preparing my soulmate and me for love, for giving us the motivation to make healthful life changes, and for arranging us to meet. Thank you for helping us recognize each other and have the courage to say hello so that we can eventually delve into a truly intimate relationship. Okay, so for anybody looking for a soulmate, looking for love, kind of hoping, maybe you're hoping to hear from a person. All right, romance angels are on the case. And I love that love energy is coming out. I don't know. Excuse me. There's that communication signal again. If anyone's noticed a lot of love energy just in a lot of the readings, even people that don't normally do love readings, a lot of the readings seem to be about love. But I think that's great. I think everybody needs a little bit more love right now. Love is the best way to combat fear, right? To breathe in compassion where there might be spitefulness or hatred or misunderstanding. Right? And there's a lot of chaos. All right, so focusing a little bit more on love when you can. All right, let's get a spirit animal out here. Let's see who wants to join. Just seeing what we got here. So far we've got a hot air balloon, a white watch, there's Bobcat with mystery. Maybe you're uncovering some sort of mystery or really curious. This third house energy is a really curious energy, wanting to understand how things work as well. Ooh, lion control. All right, and what were we just talking about with this restraint? If you have moderate aggressive impulses, this is an invitation to control your temper. You are encouraged to explore how to express your needs or thoughts more openly and constructively to reduce your level of frustration. Okay, so there's a reason that example came to my mind about maybe with your fighting, or if you tend to be aggressive, right? Maybe you don't. Maybe you try to do something a little bit different. Breathe in some of that love energy, even if it's not romance. Right? Just think about, again, how you like other people to treat you. Maybe you start to delve into where that frustration is actually coming from. It's not always directly related to what's happening in the moment. I mean, obviously it can be, but a lot of times there's buildup from other things in the past. Okay, so lion. Maybe you'll see lions this week. Leo energy has come up a lot in the readings too. So Lionsgate 8-8 may end up being significant. Maybe you see 8-8. What other numbers do we have here? 27 and 13. And then there's a lot of code on this dream card. And I know the third house card also talked about codes or decoding things. Those Dan Brown books are coming to mind as well. All right, let's see what kind of angel we get to call on this week. Last week was Nephiel. Oh, there's Samuel wanting to come out. Who did we get here? All right, we'll take him too because he was popping out. Okay. We got Knight of Cups. Ariel number 46, the revealing God. Perception and revelation, discovers hidden treasure, reveals secrets of nature. Oh my goodness, what was I just talking about? Mysteries and decoding something, exploring, discovering something. That's exciting. Okay, let's see here. And then the devil, Samael, the severity of God. Seduction and downfall, communicates with the dead, teaches the occult and magic. All right, so with this devil energy, with Samael coming out, and with Lion and the control, bringing more of that control in, not controlling other people, right? But those impulses, those things that bring downfall or that you know aren't leading to your greater good. Okay, so I really like both of those messages. Okay, let's add a little tarot to it. This feels really good. I mean, not like the being chased and accidents part, of course, but sometimes even those situations lead us to learn something or get insight. You know, sometimes actual accidents, you know, those are kind of ways where we're forced to slow down or, you know, stop running. So just trying to look at different situations like they're happening for you and not to you. They always don't feel that way, of course. All right, let's see here. What do we want to clarify first? Let's go to these dream cards. With this being chased, technology, accidents. What is this all about? Two of Swords. Has there been indecision? Right, with that running, maybe there's been a back and forth. This is a lot of mental energy. Yeah, maybe you're, again, having that fear sort of what happens if you make this choice or that choice. Sometimes when we stay that way, a choice can also be made for you. Maybe getting more in touch with the moon cycles, taking the next upcoming new moon. I don't know the exact date of that, but it'll be a new moon in Cancer, which will be about feelings. And look at that water crashing in, those waves. All right, so it seems like there's maybe been an avoidance of making some sort of choice or some sort of decision. A lot of times we already know what we want, like deep down, and we don't think we do. You know, like a really dumb example, but like think of going out to eat and somebody asks you what you want and you don't know. And then the minute they say what they want, it's like, you know, you don't want that and you knew you wanted the other thing. Has that ever happened to you? Okay, let's see here. All right, Seven of Wands. This is more choice energy. This can be about boundaries. I see this one more, though, as taking action. This is with messages. So it might be time to communicate if that's something that you needed to do. Again, with that 2 and 7, both of these are, again, about decisions, choices, and then actions from there. It's good, though, to see this, the wands coming out, because the 2 is up in your head, going back and forth, kind of creating just your own kind of chaos in your mind. So this is getting clear, getting your thoughts organized, and then moving forward. Moving forward, ready to take that step. Okay, let's get one here with Plantain, Rewild. All right, 8 of Pentacles. All right, this could be doing something creative or working with your hands, finding something new to explore or work on. So some sort of new passion or new craft. new venture, new path. You could have put a lot of time and effort into thinking about something or planning something and maybe not moving forward. So with that 7 up there, again, time to move forward. Because it does have the potential to bring in some sort of abundance, whether that's with your energy, with actual money. That could be an abundance of friends or even love. But some sort of transformation energy. So I'm feeling something more new off of this card. Let's get one more with it. Oh, I see we got the devil showing up here at the bottom of the deck. So again, yeah, trying something different or new. Even if, let's say you paint and you always do acrylics, maybe you switch and try oil paints. Like, you don't have to maybe switch up everything you do. This could be, again, some sort of skill you've built up over time, but adding a little bit of a twist. Exploring a new modality, bringing in something a little bit different, something earthy. Also, gold has come up a couple times, so gold might be a good, is that an element, a mineral? Clearly, I'm a chemist. All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah, because that's going to bring happiness. 10 of Cups. I love the 10 of Cups in this deck with that big, beautiful pink lotus. All that water in the fountain flowing down, a rainbow off in the distance. The cups are lining this path, this walkway. So like I said, maybe some sort of new path, new modality, something more grounding and natural is coming into. Okay, let's get a card here with this restraint and the end of conflict. I like the end of conflict. That sounds lovely. And if you are feeling restrained, or even if you're restraining yourself for a reason other than being afraid and just unwilling to move, right? Maybe you've got a goal, and like if you're trying to eat healthier and eat less sugar, that's something I keep saying I'm trying to do, and then I made hot chocolate this morning, so that doesn't really count, does it? Right, but when you're restraining yourself on purpose for a good reason, for your higher good, yeah, that can bring in a little bit of conflict too as well. So, okay, let's get a card with this 3 of Swords. So, a lot of paperwork there. Are you in some sort of contract or conflict right now? Lion, bringing in more control. I've been talking about bringing in more compassion and love. Archangel Michael is reminding us of that as well. So yeah, 3 of Swords. This is usually about heartbreak. This looks very businessy in this image, however. Like I said, very legal or contractual. Right, so something coming to an end. This feels like it's been very disruptive, very kind of stormy in the background of this card. So maybe you do need to get out and away, or just take a mini break, regardless of the outcome of this situation. Yeah, it's definitely time to put up your boundaries, especially if you're the one that's been taken advantage of and that's been the restraint. Yeah, more balance. I was just talking about chemistry and not being a chemist, but look at Temperance. She can alchemize anything. She's got that gold and silver, blending the two together. And again, there's been a lot of study. Look at all the books behind her. So again, with this 8 of Pentacles, just trying something a different way. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. Used to have a boss that used to say that all the time. But then he had like married and divorced the same woman multiple times. But hey, the heart wants what the heart wants. Okay, so Temperance, bringing in more balance and making progress. Because this restraint and conflict is a number 13, and Temperance is a number 14. So that is moving forward. The conflict is coming to an end, whether that is, right, because this is a legal situation, or the contract is finally up and over and you're free to go explore and do what you want. Or maybe, you know, maybe this is you finally push yourself out of your comfort zone and get a little more curious and excited, push past fear or whatever's been holding you back so you can find out what happens when you send that email or make that phone call or apply for that job or whatever the case may be. Yeah, because the Empress is at the bottom of the deck. All right. And this is true abundance, contentment, creativity. This is the ultimate sort of nurturing, mothering energy. This is also beautiful, loving relationships. Right, so a lot of awesomeness coming your way. Once you can just get past whatever this is. This could be where you're kind of at right now. So starting to move through that. Like I said, this feels really great, really good. Okay, so let's set the affirmation for this reading. We're going to focus here on this plantain, the Rewild card. So, all right, here we go. The affirmation for this week is, I discover. What do you think about that? You discover. So what can you discover this week? Right? Can you get out of your comfort zone and push past your fear? And maybe you discover what's on the other side of that. After you take action, after you make a choice, after you set a boundary, after you ask that person out, after you tell someone how you feel, or maybe you're moving and doing something new and different. So it's time to discover something. Try some new things this week. Maybe you eat some different foods, go to some new places, talk to some different people. If you're usually out and about, maybe you try to stay in a little bit more and get grounded. Right? What can you just discover by approaching things slightly different and by trusting your inner voice? All right, so that's the affirmation for the week. We discover. So that's what we've got. Thank you again so much for being here. I appreciate you. Feel free to leave me a like or a comment or subscribe. Okay, thank you again. And until next time, peace.